Okie dokie. All right, so when you have time, come back and log on to BrainPop through your launch point, and then you can click on this picture and you can watch this BrainPop video. You'll love it. Do it. I double dog dare you. All right, so there are different types of triangles. You probably had, hopefully you remember all of these, probably in elementary school. Triangles can be classified by either their sides or their angles. All right. So if you're talking about the angles of triangles, you either have an acute triangle, which means all three angles are less than 90 degrees, or you have a right triangle where you have exactly one right angle of a triangle, or you have an obtuse triangle where you have one angle that's greater than 90 degrees. One of the angles is going to be greater than 90 degrees. All right, if you're talking about the side lengths, if all three sides are the same length, you have an equilateral triangle. If you have two sides that have the same length, that's an isosceles triangle. And if all three sides are different lengths, you have a scalene triangle. Okay, so that's just a little bit of review for vocabulary. And just like most vocabulary terms, in order to remember that, you have to study them a little bit. All right, so there's this thing called a triangle inequality theorem. So a theorem is something that has been proven to be true. Okay, so it's not like a theory. A theory hasn't been proven to be true, but a theorem has been proven to be true over and over and over again, every time. So basically what the triangle inequality theorem states is if you have a scalene triangle like this one, where all three side lengths are different, there's something that's always true. If you add together the two shortest sides, like here we have a 7, one side is 7, one side's 8, one side's 9. If you take the two shortest sides and add them together, the sum must be greater than the third side. Okay, so 7 plus 8, what is 7 plus 8? 15, right? Is 15 greater than 9? Yes, and since that's true, we could make a triangle out of the side lengths of 7, 8, and 9. We could put them together and they would make a triangle. Okay, now it does say the sum of any two sides has got to be greater than the third one. So if you see, they rearrange these numbers, and that's fine, that's true. But the quickest way to find out is by taking the two shortest sides, adding them together, and those two shortest sides have to be greater than the third side. Okay. All right. So Luke never came in. All right. So far, Luke is absent. All right. So once you start your assignments for the week, if you have any questions or still need more examples, come back to this slide deck and watch this video. It's real short. It's only 4.5 minutes long. So this will be a great review for you guys. Okay. All right, so how can you determine if the side lengths given form a triangle? And this is it right here. The two shorter sides must add up to be longer than or greater than the longest side. You could add up each combination of numbers, but you don't need to do that as long as you take the two shortest sides, add them together, and make sure it is greater than the third side. All right, it looks like I have two people coming in. It looks like Peyton's coming in and somebody else. Christian. Thank those of you that are here on time. Every time it makes a big difference. Hi, Christian. Hi, Peyton.
Hi, I was trying to get in for the past 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah, I've actually been trying to get into class for 15 minutes, but it let me.
15 minutes, are you sure? Okay, alrighty. I'll go back and check that. I apologize. All right. You know, Luke can charge his Chromebook while we're having class. Like, it doesn't have to be charged before class. It can charge during class. Okay. So tell Luke he's absent unless he joins us really quickly. All right. So anyway, So like I said earlier, 7 and 8 are the two shortest sides. If you add them up, they do, in fact, they are greater than 9. So these three side lengths will work for a triangle. Do we have to do this addition and comparison for each of the three sides? No, you only need to see if the two smaller sides are greater than the longest side. All right, so we're going to practice, everybody. So you're going to determine whether these side lengths can form a triangle. So what are you going to do? You're going to look at the two smallest numbers, okay? So on the first one, in order to answer this question, you're going to find the two smaller numbers. So let's do this one. We're going to do this one together, okay? So the two smallest sides are 7 and 11, 7 and 11. So if you add together 7 plus 11, if the sum of those numbers is greater than 19, then those side lengths will form a triangle. So what's 7 plus 11?
18.
18. Is 18 greater than 19? No. 18 is not greater than 19. So the answer for this one is no. These three side lengths. So let's say I had 3 straws. One was 19 inches long, one was 7 inches long, and one was 11. If you tried to fit those together and make a triangle, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to fit a triangle. You're not going to be able to create a triangle with those side lengths. Okay, do you understand? All right, so you guys do the other 3. We'll call this one, let me change colors. We'll call this letter A. We'll call this one letter B. And we'll call this one letter C. I want all of you to chat me 3 answers. You could put A, yes, B, no, C, whatever. Okay, I want all of you to chat me 3 answers. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, so thank you for those sending me answers. Some of you aren't sending me anything. I know some of you are still working. I understand that. All right, so I think they're all actually yes, right? So if you take the two smaller numbers, add them together. So 6 plus 8, is 6 plus 8 greater than the third side?
Yes, because it's 14.
You got it. Exactly right. So is 14 greater than 11? Yes. So like Kaylee said, the answer is yes. Good job. All right, what about letter B? Always pick those two shortest sides. So the two smaller numbers is 9 and 12. So 9, oops, I wrote 6. 9 plus 12, is that greater than 19? 9 plus 12 is 21, right? 21 is greater than 19. Yes, that is true. So the answer is yes. And the same thing with the last one. So remember, it's the two smallest numbers. You add them together. 5 plus 6, is that greater than 7? Yes, because 11 is greater than 7. So the answer is yes. So actually the one we did together was the only no. All right, what questions do you have? Is anyone confused? I don't understand what you're doing, Ms. Richardson. Okay, no one's saying no, so no one's confused. Okay, so That's the way you tell if you can form a triangle. Okay. And like I said, this is being recorded. So if you need to go back and watch it, please do so. And there's videos, remember, there's videos embedded. All right, so what will that look like if you have numbers that won't form a triangle? Well, look at the second picture right here. You can see these are triangles made by little markers. I know they're hard to see, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 markers right here that makes the bottom of this triangle. There's 2 markers over here and 1 over here. So if I add together 1 plus 2, I get 3. Is 3 greater than 1, 2, 3, 4? No. So when you try to connect these 2 sides to form a triangle, you can see that it's not possible. They're not going to fit together to make a triangle. 2 of the sides will not be able to touch because they're not long enough. Okay? So that's what happens when you have the sum of the 2 shorter sides is less than the third side. Now, if you can form a triangle, let's say the first picture and the third picture, these form triangles. Well, even if I rearrange these numbers, they're only going to form one unique triangle. Even if I put this side up here on the top and the 2 shorter sides on the bottom, I could turn the triangle, but it's only one unique triangle. And the reason is because when you have length measurements like inches or centimeters or miles, those lengths are set in stone. They're not gonna, one day a foot's not going to be this long and the next day a foot's going to be this long, right? Those measurements are predetermined. They're set in stone. You can't change them. So anytime you try to form a triangle with 3 different numbers, you're only able to form one unique triangle that's going to look like that. Is that a little confusing, what I just said? So if I had a triangle that was, the 3 sides were 3 inches, 4 inches, and 5 inches, no matter how I rearrange those side lengths, I'm still only going to be able to form one unique triangle. I can't ever change the size of it if I am using 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Okie dokie. All right. So like we just did together, if you're given 3 numbers, you would always go to the smallest 2 sides, add them together, and as long as the sum of those numbers is greater than the third side, you're going to get a triangle. So would 9, 12, and 15 form a triangle? Yes. However, like the bottom picture shows, if the longest side is 10 and my other 2 sides are 4 and 5, the ends of these sides will never be able to touch together. So I would not be able to form a triangle with side lengths 4, 5, and 10. Someone asked a great question. What if they're equal? What if the question was, could I make a triangle with 4, 5, and 9? All right, so imagine the bottom line is 9, and I have one that's 4 units long, and I have another one that's 5 units long. Basically, you're going to end up with 2 parallel lines. You cannot form a triangle with it because 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 is not greater than 9. It's equal to. So if the 2 smaller sides equals the third side, the answer is still no. Okay, so no. Does that make sense? Someone says, what if the 2 smaller sums equal? Okay, yeah, I asked the same question. So if it equals the same length of the third side, the answer is what? No. The answer is no. Good. Good question. All right. So what happens when there is a missing side length? How do you find out possible side lengths? Okay. So basically, you guys are going to answer the question, find the range that the third side could be. All right, I'm going to move ahead for a second. All right, so let's say we have a triangle. We have only 2 numbers that the side lengths are, okay? So what if we have a triangle? One side is 6 and the other side is 12. And if 12 is the longest side, what is the smallest this number would have to be? And tell me. Someone said 10. 10 would work, but that wouldn't have to be the smallest number. Someone said 8. What if this was 8? Would that work? That would work. Is that the smallest number? Yep, Jeremy and Karen both said 7. Yep, Luke said 7. What if this was 7? What's 7 plus 6? 13. Is 13 greater than 12? Yes. So the smallest this number could be, if we're talking about whole numbers only, I mean, obviously 6.1 would work, 6.2 would work, 6.3, but just to make it easy, we're going to go with whole numbers, okay? So this would have to be 7 or higher. This would have to be 7 or higher because 7 plus 6 is 13 and 13 is greater than 12. All right, but what if, so the first question is, what if 12 is the longest side? Well, 6 plus what is equal to, or is greater than 12? However, what if 12 is not the longest side? So what if we have a triangle that looks like this, and 12 is here, 6 is here, and we don't know the longest side? What is the smallest number this could be? Someone's saying 13. I disagree. Remember what we have to do with these two shorter sides? What do we have to do with these?
To add those two shorter sides, and depending on the number we get, it has to be anything bigger than that or between to get that.
Okay, so what number could I put here that will work? Give me a number that would work. Karen said 19. Would 19 work? What's 12 plus 6?
18.
Is 18 greater than 19? Oh, Karen changed your mind. I'm seeing 7. What if this was an 18? Would 18 work? 18 would not work because 18 is not greater than 18. However, what if this were 17? Would that work? Remember, you add the two shorter sides. 6 plus 12 must be, 6 plus 12 must be greater than the longest side. So 6 plus 12 is 18. 18 is greater than 17. So the longest this side could be is 17. Do you understand? All right, so if 12 is not the longest side, then we are going to think about a problem like this. We're going to think about this. 6 plus 12 must be less than our longest side. So basically what you do, guys, to get the range, you're going to take the two numbers you have, you're going to add them together, and you're going to subtract them from each other. And the value of X would have to be between 6 and 18. X has to be less than 18, but it has to be greater than 6. So what number would go in here? We could use the number 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to add the two numbers and you're going to subtract them, and that's how you get the range. So the range is actually 7 through 17. It can't equal 18 and 6. It can't equal 18 and 6. It has to be between 18 and 6. So this is the hardest part of this lesson. A couple of you are taking notes. I love that. So you probably want to write that down. You're going to take the two numbers, add them and subtract them. Take the two numbers, add them and subtract them. And the answer will be between those two numbers. What are your questions? All right, I'm going to go back a couple of slides. Remember, you have access to my slide deck. Does anybody need another minute? If you want a minute, put your finger up and say, hold on. Nobody? Okay. All right, so I'm going back a couple of slides. All right, so this is what it says. Since the third side cannot be larger than the other two added together, you're going to find the maximum value by adding the two numbers. And it's got to be one less than that number, okay? Since the third side and the smallest side cannot be larger than the other number, you're going to find the minimum by subtracting the two numbers. So that's what you're doing. So let's look at these triangles right here. All right, so they're using the numbers 3 and 7. So if 3 and 7 are the shortest two sides, you would add together 3 and 7. What is 3 plus 7? 10. So 10 has to be greater than the longest side. So by adding those together, can't be equal to 10. It's got to be greater than that third side, okay? So when we add them together, we get 10. However, if 7 is the longest side, to get the other missing side, we would subtract 7 and 3, which is 4. So the value of x has to be between 4 and 10. So really the range, if we're only using whole numbers, would be 3 to 9. 3 to 9. All right, what do you think, guys? You understand? So what do you do with the two numbers? Tell me 2 things you do to them. You add them, and what else do you do to the two numbers? Subtract them, and the answer has to be between those two numbers, okay? All right, we're going to practice. Are you ready? All right, we already did this side. Okay, so you have 7 questions, everybody. The first 5 are either yes or no, okay? And the last 2 are, I want you to tell me the range of the third side. So everyone's going to send me 7 answers in just a minute. All of you, please. Are you ready? I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do this. Are you ready? Set, go. All right, guys, it looks like most of you are done. I think, yeah. All right, let's go over these. All right, so number 1, remember we're adding the 2 shortest sides. It's got to be greater than the third side. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 is not greater than 10. So the answer is no. Number 1 is no. Number 2, our 2 shortest sides is 14 and 6. 14 plus 6 is 20. 20 is greater than 19. So the answer is yes. So far, so good? Okay. Number 3, our 2 shortest sides is 7 and 4. So 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 is greater than 10. So the answer is yes. So 1 no, 2 yes, 3 yes. Number 4, 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 is greater than 7. So the answer is yes. And then number 5, 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 is not greater than 3. So the answer is no. Who got all those right? So far, so good. Yay. Nice. Okay, so number 6 and 7 are confusing. But remember, there's two things to do. Add them and subtract them. The answer must be between those two numbers. So if I subtract 5 and 10, I get 5. If I add 5 and 10, I get 15. The answer must be between 5 and 15. So if we're only using whole numbers, 6 through 14 is the answer. Okay? Do you understand? Okay, if you missed number 6, look at number 7 one more time. All right, number 7, we're going to add and subtract. So if we subtract first, the difference of 7 and 12 is 5, right? If you add 7 and 12, you get 19. So X must be between 5 and 19. So if we're only using whole numbers, 6 through what? 18. Because X has to be between the difference and the sum. So who got everything right? 1 through 7. Yeah. Oh, nobody. But it's okay. We're just practicing, right? We're practicing. All right. So now that you see 6 and 7, does that make a little more sense? Do you understand? Because you will have to answer some of these questions this week. Or maybe it's next week. It might be on Monday. I can't remember. I make the assignments ahead of time. All right. We're going to stop right here. We'll start here on Monday. All right. So I do want to show you your assignment for tomorrow. Let me share this with you. Some of you have already done it. All right. So wait a minute. Let me get back into this. All right. So are you guys looking at the 7th grade math modules for this week? Is that what you're seeing right here? No? Okay, let me stop sharing and do it one more time. All right, now you can see it, right? All right, so here's this week. So we just had our Zoom meeting. I'll put the recording on this one as well right here. Okay. Then this one says triangle inquiry activity. So I would really love if you guys can actually do this. You're going to measure and cut several pieces of paper into lengths that equal. So if you need a ruler, I know this is a lot, but you can do it. It won't take all day. I would like for you to take strips of paper, very, very thin strips of paper, and I want you to cut them into these lengths. And then you're going to actually, you can see it. If you try to make a triangle, it's either going to make a triangle with these different lengths or it's not. And you can see it physically with your eyes. Okay. So you're going to arrange 3 of the pieces of paper that each measure 15 inches to see if you can form a triangle. Can you form a triangle with side lengths 15, 15, and 15 inches? See if you can. Okay. And then as you go through your quiz, use the strips of paper that you use and look at it and see if you can physically create a triangle with those strips of paper. All right. And so that's the whole activity, is you guys actually doing that. And you're either saying, yes, it makes a triangle, or no, it doesn't. And because this is multiple choice and the answer is either yes or no, you only get one attempt. You don't get 2 attempts, because if you hit yes and you missed it, then you know the answer is no. Okay, so take your time. You only get 1 attempt on this assignment. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Anybody? Oh, wait, Kaylee, you said I missed that part. Oh, about actually cutting them out. Is that what you mean?
That was a long back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't see that. All right. No, I'm not resetting them. You guys, you have to pay attention whether you get 1 attempt or 2 attempts. And if the answer is yes or no, well, obviously I'm not going to give you a second attempt because you have to, you know, especially on this assignment where you actually can see it for yourself if you follow the directions. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, I hope everyone has a great day, great rest of the week. Well, actually, I'll see you guys tomorrow for social studies. And everyone have a wonderful day. Bye, guys. See you.